All right, now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the top 5 things I wish I knew before becoming an account executive in tech sales. As many of you know, I started out as an SDR, which is a sales development representative, and now I've had the opportunity to transition into an account executive role, which is typically the next step after an SDR, unless you want to go the leadership route, become an SDR manager, and etc. And so the SDR transition to an AE, I feel right now as if I'm fully ramped and completely comfortable as an account executive. And I just want to share my learnings with you guys on the 5 things I wish I knew before becoming an account executive and promoting from an SDR. All right, now the first thing that I did as a new account executive transitioning from an SDR to an AE is watching call recordings. Now this is a complete game changer because this allows you to look at previous meetings that account executives at your company have already had, and you can see how the deal progressed from the discovery call to the demo call and to maybe even the closing call. And you can see what's working, what's not working, what did they talk about, maybe what are some of the questions that these customers or prospects had, how does your account executive on their team steer the conversation, what questions do they ask. And so you can really study and analyze of what deals won and what do those conversations look like. And then even on the flip side, like you can watch the call recordings of the deals that maybe you lost. So this is a great tip and technique of just, hey, let's watch the call recordings, get familiar, and really just study it like a Netflix TV series. So, look at all the companies that you're having a conversation with. Start on episode 1. If there are 3 calls from start to finish, like just treat it like a Netflix episode and watch all of them, take notes, and really just develop your own message. So just take it into consideration of what they're doing and how you can apply it as you go into these meetings with these customers. And so you can start closing deals as an account executive. All right, now the second thing I wish I knew before becoming an account executive is focus on helping your customer make the best decision possible for them. When I first got started in account executive, I thought the best thing was for me to close a bunch of deals, onboard a bunch of customers, and I thought that's going to be a lot more beneficial for my career. But at the end of the day, you should be happy with your customer either choosing your solution or not choosing solution and helping them make the best decision as possible. Because the worst thing you can do is onboard a customer that really didn't need your solution and now they have buyer's remorse. They're going to have a poor customer experience. They probably will pay for year 1, but year 2 they're gonna opt out. And so you really want to help your customers make the best business decision, because if you come to them and say, hey, it doesn't sound like right now is a good fit, or hey, let's maybe reconnect in 6 months from now, or hey, like it doesn't seem like what you're looking for, we can solve the problem. Like if you're just upfront and super transparent and super honest, that's gonna help build a much healthier relationship, and that's gonna take your customer a lot further. And when you speak from their shoes and their perspective and you talk like you're on their team, they're actually going to feel more comfortable making a decision and maybe even moving forward with you, instead of you're just talking about how you can sell them or why your product is so good. So really go into it caring about the person that you're speaking with, and that's going to take your sales career a lot further and have a lot more long-lasting relationships for that customer. All right, now the third thing I wish I knew before becoming an account executive is to secure next steps. Now, what do I mean by securing a next step? At the end of every call, you should have some kind of meeting set up for the future. And so if you have a meeting on Monday, you say, hey John, I really enjoyed our conversation. This is what you've told me and you would love to see this. Like schedule that meeting either that same week or the following week while you are on the call live. I've often seen if I don't have another meeting scheduled with that same prospect, 1, they can either go cold or ghost and you never hear from them again, or 2, you're gonna have to start reaching out to them via email, waiting for them to get back to you, then trying to figure out a time to get scheduled, and it's just gonna prolong your deal. Typically, you really wanna secure the next steps, and if they're pushing back, like, hey, like I would love to do it while we're on the call, and just keep pushing on them, maybe 2 times, 3 times. If they say, hey, look, just send me an email, then go ahead and send them the email, but try your best to secure next steps, because this is gonna increase your closing percentage as an account executive and just ensure that the deal progresses. Because the worst thing is not hearing from them again, and they never told you their buying decision of, hey, yes, we want to move forward, or no, this is something we're not looking for. So definitely secure next steps. This is super important as an account executive. All right, now the fourth thing I wish I knew before becoming an account executive is to expect not every call to go well. As a beginner moving into an AE role, I used to think that every call should be perfect and I should do my best, and if I don't close a deal, it's completely my fault. Like, there's gonna be times where the calls don't go well and you have a terrible call, and maybe this was like the perfect customer, they had the problems, the challenges that typically your solution solves for, but you just completely fumble it. That's okay. Like, if you don't have a good call, like, that's absolutely normal. On the flip side, if your customer is just not the best to work with and they're really pushing on you, they're super aggressive, like, it's okay if the call doesn't go well from them or what they were looking for, you're not able to answer it. Like, having a bad call is totally normal. The goal is to have less bad calls and more good calls so you can see success. But I think this is just a good high level understanding that as you go into these meetings, like, sometimes they're really good and then sometimes they go really bad. And so just expect every call to not go well, and don't get too up on the highs and too low on the downs, because in sales, it's a very roller coaster like profession where when you close a deal, you're super excited, you're super happy, your adrenaline's all the way up, the quote got signed. But on the flip side, like, if you lose a deal, if a call doesn't go well, you get very down on yourself and beat yourself up over the next few days on how you could improve. And so just expect that, hey, do your best on every call, and if it doesn't go to how you like, just try to improve it on the next one. Don't worry about it too much and just have this mindset of, hey, it's okay if this doesn't happen, but try your best to get those deals move forward. All right, now the fifth and final tip that I wish I knew as an account executive that really helped me ramp up is talk to other account executives that are in the same company. This is super important along the call recordings, but hey, as you start having meetings, start asking for feedback, start having questions, start seeking for new ways to improve, and start getting insight and constructive criticism from other people on your team, whether that be your sales manager, whether you chat with account executives of how the call went, what you should have done better, or even anyone on your team who joins the calls. Like, ask for feedback and constantly try to improve. But the best way to do that is just talk to AEs who are already having success. There's some AEs who worked as an AE at other companies and now they're at your company, and so they might have a lot more experience and they can give you their wisdom throughout their entire career that they wish they knew. And so what you can do is talk to someone from your team and just schedule 30 minutes on their calendar once a week. If you ask them nicely, I'm pretty sure they're gonna say yes if they're not too busy, or you can do it once every 2 weeks, but try to work with them on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, just so you can constantly improve and get better as an account executive. So those are the top 5 things I wish I knew before becoming an account executive. If you're looking to get into tech sales, I'm actually creating a private exclusive community for people who are looking to get started in tech sales or either move from an SDR to an AE role like myself. So go ahead and click the first link in description and fill out the waiting list, because I will be launching it soon. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you check it out. But other than that, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.